here I am, morning 28 on the AT, and just working my way through the stiles and then trying to find my way on the AT. Could be a little confusing, trail going that way, trail going that way, but right there on that tree is a dull blaze, and there's another stile. So headed to Deer Lick Shelter this afternoon, early evening, 16 miles, one of the longer days I've had, but that'll put me 4 miles above Hot Springs, and I will be able to go in and have a longer day off trail, time to do laundry, resupply, shower, all the things that you have to do when you get into town, and get some food. So gotta get. Good morning. So I just stopped for breakfast at the shelter. It was about 2.5 miles down from the Bald Max Patch, where I spent the night and got a sunset and a sunrise. It was super windy this morning, but got 14.7 miles left today to Deer Mountain Shelter, and that's where I will stay the night and then have a short hike into Hot Springs next morning. So anyways, feeling generally very good. Still don't sleep awesome at night, but that will eventually just change, and I'll just become comfortable and sleep without reservation. Anyways, if there's any views or anything that's of interest on the trail different than the norm, I'll pull out the camera and I'll try to share. Well, this morning so far, the trail has been a very soft downhill glide, but I do know that whatever goes down has to go up. But the nice thing is that it's given my body a chance to wake up this morning and stretch a little bit. There is a chance of rain today, which is inevitable and needed sometimes, but not heavy rain, and not throughout the day, just for periods of time. So one of them happens to be around lunch hour, hoping to make it to one of the Gap shelters to have lunch and maybe get out of that rain, but we'll see. Either way, I'm enjoying the hike this morning. It cooled down overnight, so while I'm hiking in a t-shirt, I put the zip-ons back on the pants. It's not that warm yet, but if it does get that warm, I will change out. And I'm looking up top of the hill here. Looks like we may be hiking below someone's property. Interesting. Anyways, I'll let you know if there's anything that changes, but again, trail's been pretty nice to me so far. So the climb up out of Lemon Gap is 1,000 feet of elevation gain over 1 mile, and I'm about 3/4 of the way up, and it's a tough climb, but it's not a game breaker. But I did get treated to this view as I got up here, so it's making that worth it. Got about a 1/4 mile to go. All right, this little portion of video is dedicated to my very good friends and trail angels, Redbeard and Wizard, because this, my friends, is Walnut Gap Shelter. And a little story about this shelter. Last time I hiked through, Andrew and his father and another hiker were all curled up inside the shelter because it was raining out and it was cold. And I came in with Calvin, and he and I pulled the tarp back and asked if we could have enough room to sit down to eat our lunch, and took off our wet shirts and then put on a dry one. And Andrew had not been feeling good on the way up the hill, and I went to put my shirt back on, and I said something like, "It's only gonna hurt for a minute," and that has motivated them into getting up, getting hiking again. So just wanted to dedicate this video, this little portion, to them. All right, there's someone in the shelter, so we gotta get. Here we are on the trail, heading down. Big old kind of cavey looking rock. I'm sure you could crawl in there if you were small enough. I have zero interest in doing that. But the trail, you can see the green on the sides. The spring flowers, little white flowers, are trying to come out. Trees have not bloomed here yet, but at a little lower elevation they are. So pretty soon won't get the kind of views that we've been getting, at least from the sides of mountains. Very long downhill. Probably been on this downhill for over a half hour, but it makes for quick miles. The only problem with downhill is I know I got to go back up to get to wherever I'm going. So, all right. So there's been lots of streams today, very similar to this one. You can see way up there, there's a waterfall coming down. And water has been easy to get today compared to the last few days. So it's starting to get slippery because the drizzle and the rain. Have 4.8 miles left to Deer Mountain. And when I get down to the gap, I'm gonna take a little break, take my shoes off. That is if it isn't pouring. It's starting to rain pretty good right now. So anyways, gotta get rolling. Okay, here I am at Garin Flow Gap, 2,500 feet elevation. Came down from like 46, so it was a long hike down. I'm going to Deer Park Mountain Shelter, which is 3.4, and Hot Springs is 6.6. I'll go into Hot Springs tomorrow morning on a real short Nero hike. I've been hiking with the umbrella this afternoon. It is more of a drizzle than it is rain, but it's miserable. Thought about getting on a shuttle. Guy just got picked up there for a shuttle, and it was only $15 for a bunk at this hiker hostel. But I guess I didn't feel like doing a 2.5 day off trail. So for the price of 3.4 miles in a couple hours, I'll set up my tent. I'll be in the rain. My clothes that I'll have to put on will be dry, and I'll spend the night there, and then I won't even change out of those clothes. I'll hike right into town in those same clothes. So today's been, 2 really big ups early and one monumental down. And I'm sure that I'm going to pay the price for that down here in a minute as I travel back up to elevation to get up above Hot Springs. All right.